Greetings to all. There have been many requests to start psychology-related topics that could help people from my clients, as well as there were many messages. So I always believe psychology and spirituality are not opposites. They actually support and complete each other. That's why I always encourage seeking guidance from professionals who also carry spiritual strength, because it adds depth, intuition, and real transformation. So let's start with divine grace. So, the most powerful people often say the least. Have you ever noticed that? Because, we all are obsessed with noise these days, constant talking, scrolling, proving something. Silence has become the most underrated superpower. These days, from kids to elders are occupied with games and other social media activities. And these are energy vampires that can drain your energy if not balanced. As a psychologist, I have seen that psychology trains the mind, but as a spiritual practitioner, I have seen spirituality transforms it. It takes you beyond understanding into your true experience of who you are. So, just in one line, what's mind and what's consciousness? When the thoughts are full, we call it mind. When the thoughts are empty, we call it consciousness. Simple. And today, I want to talk about emptiness, silence, or the power of silence. In psychology, silence is often identified as emotional regulation. That means the space where your brain pauses before reacting. So when you pause, it allows clarity and balance, and then we can respond and not react. That is why we say before reacting, just pause or focus on the breath. So in spirituality, silence is known as Maum. Here, it's the presence of divine awareness. In short, psychology helps you understand the mind mechanics, but spirituality reveals you are not the mind. Together, they open the doorway to inner peace and authentic power. So take Ramana Maharshi for example. He didn't teach with long explanations. He simply sat in still presence. People would come troubled, full of questions, fears, and anger. And just by sitting near him in absolute silence, their minds would begin to settle. They get the answers by themselves. They felt a living stillness that dissolved their thoughts and suffering. No words, no techniques, just presence. So what was happening here? Every thought, emotion, and intentions carries a vibration. An agitated mind emits chaotic waves. A silent mind radiates harmony, right? So Ramana Maharshi's mind was completely still, no inner dialogue, no identification with ego. His consciousness rested in pure being, which we call Satchidananda. When a seeker sat near him, their own restless mind began to resonate with that higher vibration. And that higher frequency naturally entrains the lower one. So that's why Ramana Maharshi says that real answers don't come from reasoning, they emerge from the stillness of awareness. You get answers from your silence. I often travel alone to journey into myself. I do solo traveling a lot. Why? Because it's journeying into yourself. So when you travel solo, there's nobody to talk. So you stop talking so much and start observing. The mind becomes quieter. The senses becomes sharper. You begin to notice everything around and inside, the wind, the colors, the way life moves without even controlling it. That's when silence begins. It's not just about not speaking, it's about becoming still inside. So when there's no one to mirror you, you meet yourself. Then you realize how many unnecessary voices you have been carrying, opinions, judgments, comparisons. And when those start fading, what remains is a strange presence. And another way I connect with silence is by simply watching my breath. I remember during Vipassana, we were simply asked to observe the breath, not control it, not change it, just watch it. Very powerful. And that's when I really understood silence isn't something you create, it's something you naturally fall into when you stop fighting the moment. Do you know where all the struggle begins? When you have resistance. Then you are swimming against the waves. But when you let go, when you flow with life, something changes. Nature starts to heal you all by itself. When you go with the flow, you are unknowingly surrendering to the divine nature. That's beautiful. And the most powerful silence I have ever known was in the presence of true masters. I was always blessed with great masters who radiated silence and peace just like that. So if you're confused, go into silence. If you're worried, go into silence. First, you will be entangled with the thoughts, then the thoughts will empty as you observe it, and stillness comes. You will get your answers. This is how nature by itself heals us. If you can do this, why get into medication? Try not to get into medication and do these simple things that the nature gives us. I no longer fight with what is going on. I surrender to the divine grace, and in that surrender, grace takes over. So silence is your natural state when you stop trying to be something else. That is why be yourself. Thank you.